we start today. We have two things to do. One is this book. So we would like to finish strong. The name of this book is Elements of Style. And we will try to finish everything about figures, okay? So these are two basic agendas today. So we would like to finish the book and try to finish everything on figures. So everybody got this book open with you. You need to make some notes if you like, because you see, so normally when we do it, we make some notes on this book like that. We need not do the whole book, but I will tell you which part of the book is important, and we will only do that part. So let's start. The first thing, so this is about style, not grammar. So this person, William Strunk, he will tell you how to use style in writing. The first one is pretty simple. If you have like Charles's friend or somebody, okay, this is Aaron's book. Aaron's name ends with N. So if you say the book of Aaron is Aaron's book. So it's very easy to put this and write Aaron's book. How do you call this? We need to know the name of the punctuations, okay? So that's called apostrophe. So we say Aaron apostrophe S, that's Aaron's. So you might think, yeah, I know, but I don't know the name. Yeah, so I'm just telling you the name. So that's apostrophe. So that's pretty simple. But what if the name ends with S, Charles? So it is very difficult to pronounce Charles's book. So in these cases, or let's say Jesus, okay, ends with S. In that case, no need to write the final S. We just write or. If it is something else, just write like this, put the S. If it ends with S, don't put the last S. You may ask, is there any way out? Okay, then you see the next box. Just write like this. Just use the laws of Moses or the heel of Achilles, temple of Isis, like that. So this is how we pronounce, or when we write like this, okay? This is one technique that we will follow. So that's the first page. The next one is very, very important. Two or more similar things. For example, like color. We are mentioning color, red, white, blue. The word and, the conjunction, comes before the last. You don't write red and white and blue and pink. No. It's red, white, blue, and pink. So the conjunction comes before the last. Only if they are similar. So here you see they are all colors. That's why. If they are dissimilar, you cannot do this. So this person, whoever is that, is honest, energetic, but headstrong. So that's the conjunction, comes before the last. And although very small, but technically it would be mistake if you don't put the comma before the end. This is absolutely required. So I told you that as a matter of style, whenever you write and, put a comma before it. If you write and, there is a comma before it. Don't make this mistake. I mean, that means always put the comma. Only one exception, if it's a name of a company. So this is a company, then you see, you may omit that comma if it's the name of a company. But probably we will not be needing any name of company like this in our manuscript. So I'm just telling you. So this is number 2. And the third point I have already discussed. Anything you put between two commas behave like a parenthesis, okay? So I described when. So that's like a bracket. So when a football game lover went to play tennis, okay? So I told you, even if you replace that, it is still a sentence. This is very important, these two comma, this and over here. This will be required in your text a lot. It will make your length of the paragraph smaller and smaller. So you need to understand this very well. There are other examples you can read, okay? I am not doing all. There are other boxes you need to read. I am just telling you the basic. You need to do the other ones that I hope you have already done. So place a comma before and, but there are some examples. So I told you always that place a comma before the conjunctions, okay? There are some examples, and some exceptions also. For example, the situation is perilous. Perilous means dangerous, okay? Comma, but there is still one chance of escape. So this is the conjunction. You put a comma before the conjunction. This is a very simple book. It's very simple. A little bit of English. Independent clause means the two parts of the sentence are not related to each other. In that case, do not join independent clauses by a comma. So, for example, if you have two sentences, independent, Stevenson's writings or romances are entertaining, and these short stories are full of exciting adventures. You see, these are like two separate sentences. If you want to join them, don't put a comma, put a semicolon instead. However, I told you that the use of semicolon is a little dicey. Sometimes we make mistakes. So in those cases, just put a full stop. That's okay. So you see, Stevenson's romances are entertaining. They put a full stop. They are full of exciting adventures. This person, William Strunk, is teaching us that if you are unsure of using this semicolon, just use a full stop. Finish. This one is a complicated one. Let me try to explain. If you want to read the book, if you don't have proper knowledge of English, you will be confused, but let me explain it simply. So don't read this. If you want to read this, you will be confused. Participle phrase, beginning of a sentence, grammatical subject, complicated, okay? So I just ask you, can you understand this sentence? Walking slowly down the road, he saw a woman accompanied by two children. So the question is, who is walking slowly down the road? That he or the woman? Huh? You see, it's complicated. So some of you telling he, some of you telling woman. So that means there is some problem in this sentence, right? So William solves it. Woman accompanied by two children. I can just use like this. So the woman accompanied by two children. Woman accompanied by two children. You see the use of two comma, walking slowly down the road. So the woman is walking slowly down the road. So what you just learned is basically this complicated thing. So if you write like this, you see who is walking slowly is not very easy to understand, because there are two subjects, he and the woman, and both has walking slowly. Complicated. And there are many examples. If you go to the box, you will see many examples here. This book is very nice. So you will see many examples. You can try to understand. Go to page 13. This is the most important thing. So I would need some time on this one. Compositions. We are writing our thesis or we are writing our paper, manuscript. So that's a composition. So what is this whole writing based on? This whole writing is based on paragraph. This is the most important thing. So composition means the whole thing, means your thesis or your manuscript. That's the composition. The composition is made up of many, many paragraphs. Paragraphs are the unit of composition. So these paragraphs are very important. What Mr. Strunk tells us that each paragraph have one message. Just like in our talk, when you go to the seminar and speak, one slide gives one message. You show something and you say, okay, I understand that the gold nanoparticles are 20 nanometer in size. One slide, one message. So here in writing, one paragraph, one message. Remember that. You might say there are some cases where it is very difficult to have one paragraph, one message. Yes, I understand. So we try to follow. In some cases, you will see that the paragraph becomes either too big or the paragraph becomes too small. In that case, I can still keep the message as one. Okay, I don't confuse the message. The paragraph has one message, but I try to make the paragraph normal size. So when I say normal size, you will say that what is a normal size of a paragraph? How long it should be? So how long the paragraph should be? First question to answer. Paragraph is a unit of composition. How long? General rule, not special cases. How long should a paragraph be? So let us understand paragraph from reader's point of view when I am reading. So you see, I hope you can see, this is one paragraph. That's another, from here to here is another paragraph. This is another paragraph, this is another paragraph. So what does the paragraph mean to the reader? It means like you can take some break. You can have a cup of coffee or you can rest for a while. That is a paragraph. That's why I say each paragraph, one message. So you finish one paragraph, you understand one thing. And then you sort of rest, look around, scratch your head, and then start the next one. So how long should it be? Here it is printed. Does not mean in your Word file it will be like this. So how long? I give you some reference, okay? Average. Less than 1 page. And the page is defined. I have defined 1 page before. So 1 page means A4. This is A4. You open your Word file. 1 inch margin, 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch. 12 font, double spaced. Don't make this mistake. Don't write single space or 1.15 or 1.5. So you understand, right? Is there in Chinese for it? Double space? Yeah. So always double space and 12 font. So double space, 12 font, A4 and 1 inch margin everywhere. That's 1 page. So a paragraph should be less than 1 page. Now there is a lower limit also. Lower limit means how small it can be. At least 2 sentences. So at the most, something less than a page. At least 2 sentences. So you cannot have a paragraph that looks like, and you go to the next one. You cannot have this. Now you might say, well, I have done some experiment and I can explain the result in just 1 line. So what do I do? Yeah, these cases sometimes happen. Maybe the experiment just tells you one small thing, and then you finish that, you have to go to the next one. In those cases, think how you can join this paragraph with the earlier one or with the next one. So I will just finish this sentence and probably bring the next one here. But remember, these 2 topics must be similar. So normally, generally, there should be 2 paragraphs. But topic 1 is very, very small. I just write 1 sentence. And my rule is it has to be like at least 2 sentences or like 4 or 5 printed lines, 4 or 5 lines. So that is probably the smallest of the paragraphs. In those cases, choose the next topic as something that is similar to topic 1. So these 2 topics are related. Then continue. Don't put a paragraph. Paragraph means enter. So don't press the enter. Make sure these 2 are connected. So when I say topic, topic means what this paragraph is about. That's the topic and that's the message. So 1 paragraph, 1 topic. 1 paragraph, 1 topic, 1 message. Don't mix it up. So if you are talking of morphology, morphology means how a thing look like. This chair is like 3 feet high and something. This is how the chair look like, okay? And this chair is about 5 kilo. Don't talk of the material of the chair. When you are talking about the size and the shape, that's 1 paragraph. So this is this much, that much, okay? You explain, oh, this is that heavy, okay? Everything. And then don't mix its property that I can roll and its velocity can be this much or something else. Don't mix the topic. 1 paragraph, 1 topic, 1 message. Each paragraph should have 1 message and only 1 topic. So you might say, what happens to this? This, because topic 1 and topic 2, they are related, I will consider them as 1 topic. Otherwise, my paragraph becomes too small. Normally, we don't do it. So if you check this, any journal, if you go and check, you will see what the average length of the paragraphs are. They are mostly similar. So they are different authors, okay? But mostly the paragraph lengths are similar. So give a chance to the readers to take a break. That's a paragraph. 1 paragraph, 1 topic, 1 message. So the longest you can make is less than a page, not a page, less than a page. And the shortest you can make is around 2 sentences. These are rough guidelines. That means average, approximate. Don't ask me, so what happens if I write 1.5 sentence? Okay, well, you can do it. I mean, just make sure that it is of normal length. So that is what 1 paragraph is. Now, it's fine. You understand everything, but try to write. It is difficult. So let me show you the structure of a paragraph. How a paragraph should look like. It's often difficult to follow, but if you follow, I guarantee you, your writing will be very, very good. So the structure of a paragraph, structure. So this is my paragraph. So this is my way of teaching, okay? By structure, I mean when you look at the paragraph, how it should look like. So here is paragraph, and there are several lines. I wrote down several lines, okay? That's my paragraph. This is my paragraph. So let me show you the structure. The first line of the paragraph is called the topic sentence. Topic sentence. So each paragraph must have one topic sentence. So what is a topic sentence? So for example, I can take the examples of what we do, and you can suggest me something, I can tell you what it can be. So this is the first line of a paragraph. The SEM images, and the images may be figure 1, show the morphology of the nanoparticle. So this is the topic sentence. So what is the topic? Morphology. Morphology means how it looks. Morphology of the chair or the morphology of this. So here I am only talking about how many nanometers, how many centimeters, how many millimeters. I am only talking about that. And how they look, like a sphere or like a hexagon or like a square. So that is the morphology, okay? So if my nanoparticle look like this, it might have a diameter, it might have some kind of length, it might have like a shape, hexagon, it might have a thickness. So these all come here. That's the topic. One paragraph should start with the topic sentence. So when you read this paragraph, you know that this paragraph will only have the morphology of the nanoparticles. Fine. Immediately the reader will know this paragraph will contain nothing but the morphology of the nanoparticle. So it is so much 20 nanometers, the height is something millimeters, and this and that, shape is this. So you keep writing, but the first line is the important one. Then you say that nanoparticle is like that long, that wide, that thick, blah, blah, blah. So that's the body. Topic sentence, that's the body. You explain, okay, how long, how thick, how many, size distribution, if there is any size distribution, okay, 20 plus minus 2 nanometer, okay. You put everything here, all the information. That's the body. The final, the message. The last sentence is the message. So look at the structure of the paragraph. Not too long, not too short. Average length, less than a page. You start with a topic sentence, explain more, and then end with a message. This is the structure of a paragraph. And now you understand that it is not easy. So you have to think where to press the enter, where to stop and go to the next topic. You have to think. When you keep writing, normally we keep writing, our paragraph becomes 3-page long. We forget to press the enter because we think, oh, the topic is going on. No, you have to give a chance for the readers to take a break. So that enter is very important. Topic sentence, body, message, enter. Go to the next topic sentence, body, message, enter. However, when I teach, it is very easy for me to tell. When you write, you are writing in a flow, okay? You are keeping on writing. It is very difficult to remember all these rules. So I am telling, just try. You will get it at some point of time. After 2 years of writing, you will get this. But make sure that your paragraphs are not too long, not too short. If you read any paper, take for example, your computers have many papers that you have read. Take any paper and see what are the average length of those paragraphs. Those paragraphs are not too long, not too short. Yes?
What is the difference of body and message?
Body normally like in a letter. Letter we have some starting, we have some end. And body means the description. So I am talking about this topic. So I will say this is that much long, that much wide, that much heavy, that shape, etc. Okay? And finally you come. These nanoparticles are, you just give a message sentence that it's so small or it is so big that it can do like this. So that's the message. Sometimes you might say it is very difficult to give one message in writing. Yes, sometimes it's difficult. Then you can skip. You just write like this, okay? But normally, if you have a figure, so you are talking about a figure, then it should have a message. Otherwise, if you are writing, for example, discussion, for discussion or for introduction, it's difficult to end with a message. But try, if you can. So this is the ideal structure of a paragraph. Ideally, it should be like this. Sometimes, of course, I understand it is very difficult to come up with one message. We might skip it, but that is normally how we write. So there is no difference, but body means the description of this topic, and message means what I understand from doing all these experiments. That's what I understand in this paragraph.
So it's like a conclusion, right?
It's like a conclusion, yes. Message is like a conclusion. So each paragraph is having a conclusion. If you think it is too difficult, okay, then probably this is topic 1, there is topic 2, but these two are related, let's say. You can have the message at the end of the second paragraph, but they may contain information from the 2 paragraphs. So you have 2 paragraphs, paragraph 1, paragraph 2, but the message is here. There is no message there. This message belongs to both the paragraphs. Is okay, no problem. So remember, each paragraph should have a topic sentence. So you will see, probably next week I will give you a piece of paper to structure your work. If you are writing a thesis or if you are writing a manuscript, I will ask you that structure. And over there you will see, I will ask you that check your topic sentence. That means I am asking you to check if each paragraph of your writing has the topic sentence or not. So that topic sentence you have to understand very clearly. If you have some papers downloaded in your computer, just read those and you will see each paragraph has one topic. If you are confused, I would say the best thing to do is, if you are writing the discussion or the results, start with the figure, and that figure becomes the topic sentence. So for example, the SEM images show this, right? I can also say figure 1 shows the SEM images of the morphology of the nanoparticles. And that figure 1, that word becomes the topic. So I know this paragraph is talking about figure 1 and not figure 5, only figure 1. So I know that, okay, here is figure 1, so this paragraph is talking about this figure. You might be thinking, what if the figure has 1 A, B, C, D? No problem. Each paragraph may be A, the next one may be figure 1, B and C, the next one may be figure 1, D. That's okay. So 3 paragraphs for the whole figure. Fine, no problem. Depends on how you design the figure. That's why figure designing is so important. You have to put related information in a figure so that the paragraphs can be written very easily. If you make figures which are very complicated, it is very difficult to write. Sometimes you are talking of image, sometimes you are talking of a disease. It's very difficult to write. So figure design is very important. You can do this beautifully only if your figure design is proper. You make a mistake in figure design, you will find writing is so difficult. Because you are writing your figure, right? Figure 1 over here, A, B, C, D. You are writing that. And if that design is wrong, you will see this writing will be too difficult. So try to put related information in one figure, like a story, so that your writing will be like this. Remember, one figure is a story, and that story is being written in these paragraphs. If you have any problem, need to give me specific example that in this case, what should I do? Then I can tell you what to do. So what I said is basically written in chapter 3, this chapter. So you see, I learned everything from this. As a rule, begin each paragraph with a topic sentence and end in a message. This book has given so many examples. These boxes means example. So what is the topic sentence, what is the body, and what is the conclusion? They have given everything over here. If you read this, you will understand. Next point, I have already taught you the next point. Use the active voice. We have already done this. We have learned what is active voice. So use the active voice. When you are writing this, use the active voice and no negatives. Check your writing. It should not contain no, not, this kind of words should not be there. No negatives. We have to write in positive. Put statements in positive form. He did not think that studying Latin was much use. He thought the study of Latin useless. So he removed this word not. Not makes it negative, right? So much use, so make it useless. That's it. And there are many, many examples. So we have to write in the positive form, keeping the meaning same. The meaning must be same. Just use, the word use was changed to use less. That's why he can remove the word not. And this point I have also told you before. Omit needless words. Omit means delete. Needless, there are many, many examples here. There is no doubt but that. So it is doubtless, or there is no doubt. Used for fuel purposes. Used for fuel. So that word is not required. So there are many examples. Omit needless word, because technical writing is about writing as short as possible. The next few lines are basically English grammar, so I am skipping them. You have to read it, but I am skipping them because I am not teaching English. Go to page 27. Keep to one tense. Okay? Now here is difficult because we are writing so many things together. So what I told you is make statements in present tense, and the experiments that you have done is past tense. I take the example of the same topic. So I start with the topic sentence. Figure 1 shows the morphology of the gold nanomaterials. So that's a topic sentence. And I am writing it in the present tense. So this is present. When I make a statement like this, I can use present tense, no problem. Scanning electron microscope was used to determine the size distribution. Figure 1a. So you see, making a statement, present, any experiment that you have done earlier, just keep it in the past tense. So that's fine. And then make another statement. The gold nanoparticles are 20 plus minus 2 nanometer in diameter. You see, I come back to present tense. So because writing the whole thing in present tense, sometimes it's a little difficult. So what I say is you can mix a little bit. So which one can you mix? The experiments that you have done in the past. So make them in the past, statements in the present. So normally we should keep to one tense, if possible, as much as possible. Sometimes it's impossible, really. So I am not telling not possible. I cannot use negative, right? So impossible instead of not possible. And then you make statement in the present tense, the experiments in the past tense. That's fine. Now this part is interesting. Matters of form. You know what is this? How do you write numbers? What is this? 12, right? You don't write 1, 2. It is like this. So this is form. 12 can be written as 1, 2, or can be written as this, right? So this is form. When you say rule 3, you can also write like 3, okay? Like tick, tick, tick. Rule 3. Which one should you use? August 9, 1918. How to write? August 9, 1918, okay? So there are some rules which are very nicely explained over here. Think about this. Some of your numbers, the intensity is something. In our science, the numbers are complicated. So 3 times 10 to the power 15, or you can say log something, 10 to the power 5. Our numbers are complicated. So when you are writing numbers, it's difficult. So if you are mentioning the numbers of experiments, okay, I have done 3 experiments, 4 experiments. Remember our first figure that we discussed? This is y, this is x. And what we said, the error bars indicate the scatter over 3 experiments, 4 experiments, 5 experiments. So how to write those 3, 4, 5? And if that experiment is over 135 different experiments, how to write? You understand? So in this case, I am writing that this error bar is that scatter over, let's say, 5 experiments. But the experiments can be 125, not 5. How to write? So normally, if the numbers are small and it's like number of experiments or number of something less than 9, you can write in words. So 5 experiments, F-I-V-E, 5 experiments. But anything more than 9, you have to write in numbers. 102, 105. You cannot write 105. No. So this is about form. These few pages, 2 or 3 pages, they talk about form, how to write these numbers. This part, you will see the matters about form, the numbers and how to write company names, such things. How to write this and how to write that, this kind of stuff. Sometimes, if you read papers, you will see is introduction. Normally, we write the first section is introduction. But that first is not 1, is this. Then is after introduction is experimental. Experimental is not 2. Some journals, a few journals may use it, but normally we use this. So then is result. Result is like this. So how to write these numbers? These numbers have different form. How to write 3 o'clock, time. How to write time? Any idea? You want to say 3 o'clock. How to write that? Now is 2:30 or 3 o'clock. It's exactly 3. If you want to write numbers, then you can say, okay, that's 1500 hours. It is not AM, PM. AM, PM I can understand. More than 12, it must be PM, right? So we write hours, right? It is 3 PM. You see the difference? So this is form. Exactly this is form, how to write. If you want to write 3 o'clock, you don't know morning, evening, then it is like, you have to write like this. Of course, in our paper writing, we will not use this one. So there are forms about numbers. Chapter 5 is funny. I will not do it. You can just read it. Words and expressions commonly misused. We don't understand. In these boxes, you will have examples. There are so many things that we speak is actually technically wrong. There are many, many examples. We speak every day, but it is wrong. It's mostly wrong. So this chapter is very funny to read. You can read these boxes. I am not going to do it now. It will be a waste of time. So there are few pages. Don't omit it. It's very nice for our understanding. So keep reading this. Only in the class I am not doing it. And finally, spelling we are more or less safe. We run the spell check. Okay, every time we write a document, if your spelling is wrong, Word will help you. Word will underline that. So we are more or less safe now because we are not writing by our hands. We are writing using software. So they will tell you which one is right, which one is wrong. Fix those. So don't give any document to your professor that has so many underlines. That means your spellings are wrong. And spellings can be fixed. No need for you to have some knowledge of English. Spellings can be fixed. So that's the book. That's the whole book. It is so precise. It's very nice. You spend another day, you will finish the whole book. There are so many interesting things I did not do because that is related to English, not like technical writing. So I did not do it in the class. I guess we take a break here. When we come back, we go and finish figure design. We will try to finish figures today. I have some printout of papers taken from different journals. I will give a copy to each one of you. I gave you printouts of papers from various journals. And you may ask that why I give you these printouts and you can always have some paper from the internet in your computer. What you see in the computer is not important. Because in the computer, you can increase the size, decrease the size, increase brightness, decrease brightness, and your figure may look very beautiful. The figures must look beautiful in the printout. So that is most important. How good it looks in the computer screen doesn't matter. Because you see, you can change the PowerPoint page size. You can make it 30 centimeter by 20 centimeter. You can make it 300 centimeter by 400, put in lot of stuff, make a poster. Doesn't matter how it will look. So what is important is how it looks in the printed page, A4 size. That is the exact look. That's why I give you those. We are composing figures, and I have taught you how to design figures. But finally, you can ask me, so how I decide the figure is good or bad? The final answer is, when you have the figure, story, that's the content. The story is okay, A, B, C, D, E, that's okay. Story. And 2, is the figure legible from 30 centimeter away? Our normal vision is 30 centimeter, not my eye. My eye is very bad. Anybody's eye, normal, should be 30 centimeter. So put that, any figure, take any figure, 30 centimeter away, approximately 1 feet, and see if you can read everything in the figure. If you can read, then your figure is good. If you cannot, then you have to change. This is a challenge. Because sometimes 10 to the power minus 15, and that minus 15 is so small, it is minus 10 or minus 11, you hardly understand. So you have to choose the font size in a way that after it is printed, not in your computer. No. So design your figures, and remember, the figures are not one. You have to compose A, B, C, D, E. After you compose, then you have to imagine, this is my paper, how it looks like, and I put my figure over here. See, how small is this figure? In that size, can I read the figure? If you can, so answer is yes, your figure is good. This is the challenge. So you choose your font type, font size, you choose how big these figures will be, how small that writing will be, that arrow, everything. you need to choose in a way that it is legible from 30 centimeter. And your PowerPoint is not the reference. Reference is the printout. So think about that. So of course you can see this scale bar is somewhat messed up because I cut and paste from somewhere. So make the figure in a way that everything can be seen. So if you see in these papers, mostly they are very well designed, mostly. But in some cases they are bad. So that's a reference. How to make sure. So normally you come up and ask, how do I know my figure is good or bad? My straightforward answer will be take a printout. And take a printout at the size you want it. Don't take a printout full page figure. No journal will give you that much space. Most journals are double column, 2 column. And your figure, mostly 90% of them will be single column figure. And how much is this? 9 centimeter. So make your figure 9 centimeter by 9 centimeter or 6 centimeter. Then see if you can clearly see it. A composed figure. This one is a composed figure. There is a figure, lot of data, some inset. Then it is printed 9 centimeter by, let's say, 9 centimeter. So we have to do that in PowerPoint and Photoshop. Make it 8 centimeter, 9 centimeter. Take a printout. Can you see it? Sometimes you come and say, oh, in my computer it looks very good. Doesn't matter. In printout how it looks, that matters. So that is the basic thing. However, how you design your story is up to you. If you are a very good storyteller, your story will be very good. Then the figure will be very beautiful to understand. And must be legible. Legible means I should be able to read it. Any number should be able to be, I should be able to read it. Only then it is good. So now I will show you, when you design your figure, there are so many things which takes time to do. And normally, you won't be liking to do it. So today I got a file from some of my students, and he has already done my course. I see whatever I taught is totally absent from that file. That means that it takes time and it takes a lot of work to do it, and the students are not doing it. So now I am telling you the story. Okay, I have my data. I did some enhancement. Don't forget the word enhancement. Data is not enough. You get the data, you work on it. I get my data, then I work on it to tell my story. I get the data and I say, roughly these are 12 nanometers. So I show that that is 12 nanometer. Without that, if I tell, oh, I got my nanoparticles and they are 12 nanometer, then you will say, some of them look 6, some of them look 20. So I show that representative. In general, it looks 12 nanometers. So that is the extra work I do. And then I am telling my story. So I say low magnification first, high magnification next, my story. So I am enlarging this nanoparticle, making it big. From here, if I say that my nanoparticle look hexagonal, you will say no, they look circular. But then I make it big and then say, see, it is actually hexagonal. Then you understand, I am telling a story. You need not know what I am doing, but you understand what I am trying to say. These are nanoparticles, small particles, look like round, make it big, they look hexagonal. Why they look hexagonal? I take the extra work. I show that, see, they are hexagonal. So this is the work I am doing. So storytelling and enhancement. I am enhancing the figure. You want to know more? Low mag, high mag, more high mag, go to the inset. So this is how I present my story, step by step. Start from the basic, then in details. Some things are wrong, so you must make sure these are legible and not legible on the screen, legible on the printout. So each of these I am doing on a PowerPoint. I get my data, let's say JPG file, then I put it, I size it, and I put it on the PowerPoint. Then I do this in the PowerPoint. I write the A on the PowerPoint. I do all these, write B, I am composing. I am composing the figure and telling the story. I cannot invert, so you can think, I cannot put this B over here and take it over there. The story will be gone. So it must be A and then it's B. Then I keep on telling my story. When we do this, of course, because I cut and paste, there are some mistakes here. This should be here. This is my whole story. And I put numbers to tell you something that, so this position is 1455, that position is 1550, and then I write something. So this is my story. So story, yes. Legible, I don't know from computer. I have to take a printout, that size. So I said, in 90% cases, you have single column figures. In 10% cases, you may have a double column figure. Sometimes they have double column figures. So this is the maximum size available to you. So 9 is single column multiplied to 18 centimeter is the maximum size you have. So you can do the Photoshop and select 18 centimeter and print it out. If you can see this, everything you can see, the figure is good. Okay. Now, other things. Minimum white space in between. What is the white space? That's the white space. That's the white space. That's the white space. So don't put your figures one over here and one over there. What will happen? The journal will not take it. They don't have that much space. So as close as possible. However, don't make them touch. It is very difficult to see this wavelength belongs to this or belongs to that. Now look at the size. The alignment of the figure. We say alignment. This alignment must be 100% correct. So what is the meaning of the alignment? Two things. One is the alignment means this edge of the figure falls on that one. That's alignment. You cannot have half a millimeter like this. Cannot have. Has to be perfect. So this is one alignment. That should be another alignment. The other alignment is, like I said, after the axis title, it's aligned. It's aligned. That's the alignment you need. This is a lot of work. You have to make very carefully, you have to position your figure. Because remember, some of them will be images. And working with images that has a scale bar is difficult. You cannot crop. You cannot change the size as you want. When you change the size, your scale bar also change. And I am sure most of you are doing this mistake. You think, I take this image because there is a scale bar. Now I can pull the image up and down. No problem. No, cannot do that. Because the scale bar has an aspect ratio. That will change. If you really want to do that, you right-click on the image, right-click, go to Format, change size, and then choose Lock Aspect Ratio. You have to do this. Let's say this is your image, right? And let's say this has a scale bar. You cannot just do like this. You cannot do this. Your scale bars are changing. So what you have to do is right-click, so Format Picture, and then this is the size, and then where is Lock Aspect Ratio? Here. You see? You need to do this. Only then you can change size. So don't forget, I mean, if this is unchecked, all your data is gone. Keep this and then you go up and down. Then you see how it changes. Both of these numbers will change. You see? This is okay. Otherwise, it's not okay. So now we know how we change the size, and we are telling a story. So it's aligned. You see? It's aligned, aligned. No problem. The top is also aligned. This is also aligned. So horizontally and vertically, they are aligned. Not only that, the ABCD must be aligned also. Must be on the same line. So you cannot just put the B over here and the A is over there, C is somewhere here. No. Exactly the same position, here and there. Now, look at the white space in between. They must be same. So you see there is some trouble. This white space is little big than that. You have to make them same. So that will make a good figure. Story, A, B, C, D is okay. Legible. If I do this figure now, I will try to make the A, B, C, D a little bigger. It's a little too small. Even in this size, it's too small. And it has to be aligned like that. And minimum white space. Questions? Yes, Saptami.
So once we complete the figure, how do you make sure it is 9 or 18 centimeter on the figure? Because the dimensions of the PowerPoint sheet is different from...
Yes. So when you save it using Photoshop, your size is fixed. When you save it using Photoshop and you have a TIFF file, right? That TIFF file, if you Control-C, Control-V, what is on the document, it can be Word or it can be Photoshop, it is 18, unless you change it. On the computer, the image is there. Control-C, in the PowerPoint, Control-V. If you take a printout, it will be 18, unless you change it. Don't change it. So finally, what is happening is after you compose, then you check from here to here is 18 or not. That's your size. This size is not very important. You can keep it anything because length of the column we can control. This is the heart. Once your figures are good, the initial rejection you can avoid. When you send out your manuscript to the journal, they basically read the title the abstract and the figures. Oh, the figures look very good. So, you have a chance. This must be, no mistake and should be very good. Figures and caption, heart of the paper.
Professor,
Yes.
one small question. For example, this is 4 figures in a screen, and this is like from the left to the right,
Right.
A, B, C, D.
Uh-huh.
Can we do it like A, B, C, D?
Of course, you can do A, B, C, D, no problem. But that is only 2 way. A, B, C, D and A, B, C, D. Don't start A from here and then go A, B, C, D. No. It still needs to be English. So we read from left to right or top to bottom. So like this or this, not the other way around. Now I can give you like hundreds of examples of how to design your saw, you see. So in every picture you will see we need to do this and see if they're aligned or not. 2 kinds of alignment. I am telling you, when I say alignment, previously I told you that the alignment is figure to figure. Look at this. You did not notice, right? It is not figure to figure. Look at this alignment. It is matching with that. It is not figure to figure. So you need to first decide, depending on what you have, image data, that where should I align? When you align, don't change that. Be consistent. You can have different arrangements. Next figure, you can have different arrangement. This figure is bigger than that. You can have that, no problem. But look at the box. That box is aligned. Minimum white space. You can still, do some little bit of work, okay, over here. If you print it out, you won't see because it is enlarged, you can see. I can also see now. Minimum white space and the story, now it's A, B, C, D, E. So story, enhancement, you see, enhancements. These were not in the data. You do this, everything. The scale bars, normally when I get the image, I don't get the scale bar like this. Our scale bar normally look like in the SEM image is like, here is the image, and there will be something like this. It's hardly legible. Then you need to do the extra work. You need to measure this length, draw the line, make it thick, then put the number, whatever is the unit. Sometimes it's too dark, it's black, and the writing is also black, you cannot see it. Then I need to put a black box, then do this in white and put like that. Sometimes if your picture is white, then you need to make it white and the writing in black. So there are 2 cases. This is the background is, the box is white and the writing is color. Sometimes this, sometimes that. Depends on what is the background of your picture. Whichever looks clear. This will take time. Now for all the students, all of you, when you make your figures for your thesis or for your seminar, this is what you need to do. Font type, font size, font color, position. This is from analytical chemistry. It is a different kind of journal. So you see the ABCDE, it is in a red box. It is a nature type of journal. They put a red box and then write the ABCDE inside. And this ABCDE is always outside the figure. This is a requirement of nature or an analytical chemistry, this journal. So you have to look which journal you are sending your manuscript and format the figure accordingly. This is a lot of work if your manuscript is rejected. You format, you do a lot of work and send it to Journal of Biomedical Optics. Reject, you have to send it somewhere else. The whole figures you have to do again. All these A, B, C, D, E, all these need to change and send again. So that's a lot of work. So in this case, look at the previous one. The A, B, C, D, E was inside. That's chemical physics letters, CPL. A, B, C, D, E is inside. A, B, C, D, E is outside. Not only outside, it has a red box. Other rules are still the same. Aligned, minimum white space, beautiful arrangement, story, but the ABCDE is different. And when you read papers, you will see there are many different kind of examples. This is also analytical chemistry, a composite figure, lot of data inside, figures, some kind of circuits and some images, some schematics. When we make this figure, we will take it to 18 centimeter by something, take a printout and see if it is clear. These are electrons. Can I see these electrons? GD, DS, can I read? This is Z prime. Can I read that? If you can do everything, if you can read everything, 3.03 nanomole, 5.47, if I can read, then my figure is okay, otherwise not. Don't forget the enhancement. I have so many pictures here. These are the enhancements, these. You are telling the people where to look at. You put the arrows. Do this. This will help make your figures much better. This is one very nice example of explaining something which is very difficult. So I give you this picture. These are crystals, some kind of crystal. So I give you something. That is my data. This is, I am helping you to understand what is going on. How these things are growing. I am drawing the substrate and how the crystal is growing. This is the extra thing I do. That's your enhancement. This is the extra thing you need to do to explain. So if you are from MRI group or if you are from the OCT group, I don't understand OCT, right? So from 9th week, when I go and sit with you, you need to make me understand what is your figure is about. That's your challenge. That I don't understand OCT, right? But if your figure design is good, I should be able to understand. The basic, not the finer details, but the basic, I should be able to understand. So make your figures in a way that I understand or anybody else understands. This is one technique. When you have many data, similar data, spectrum, I change some parameter, I get spectrum after spectrum. There are approximately, let's say, 10 spectrum over there. However, it is not very important and it is changing very systematically. Then should I tell what they are with each one? No. So basically, you see, what is going on is I am lowering the temperature. This is 15 K. 15 Kelvin, you understand, is very, very cold. And that's 300 K. However, in between, it is not up and down. It is changing. So 15 K, 20 K, 100 K, 150 K, 200 K, 250 K. It is very consistent. In that case, only in this case, you need not mark each of the spectrum. That this is 15, this is 100, this is 150, this is 200. No. In those cases, you can do that. But make sure that it is consistent. I mean, if 15 is here, 100 is here, and then 150 goes back, no, you cannot do it. But if it is very consistent, you can do this. If you want to highlight some part of the image, put a box or a circle like that, and then highlight that. That part is over here, if you want to do that. Most of you know that. And remember this. What is the problem with this figure?
One black, one white.
Yes, one should be solid, the other one is hollow. Solid, hollow, solid, hollow. You might say, what is the problem? I can see it clearly. Yes, it is clear because there are only 4 data. What will happen if there is 20? Then you need to do that. Don't make schematics like this. Now, a few slides I will show you if you have a process and how to destroy the figure. This is one example. When you look at the figure, don't try to read it. This is chemistry. I do a little bit of chemistry. When I look at this, I understand nothing. It's so complicated. It's very difficult. This is a schematic. Don't do schematics like this. And this is another from the same paper. I don't even want to read this one just because this figure is so bad. So this will happen if your schematic is bad. You do a schematic is bad, you know, I will just say, Wayne, please redo this. I cannot understand even if it is my topic. So this is all about figures. Bunching of the data. This is how you do it. This is bunching of the data. So can you understand what is going on? Just the figure. I mean, what the figure is about and which data is which axis, which data is which axis. Only this. So all the colored ones, you see the blue, the red, the green, this one, they are bunched. And all of them goes to this axis. Only the black one goes to that axis. So this is called bunching of data. Bunch. You bunch them. You can put like an oval shape or you can do this. If you have figures like this, many figures, okay, and then suddenly you have something like this, double axis. So this is y1, this is y2. How you can do the bunching? You can do that, or you can do this. This is bunching. If you make it a very good one, save it. In PowerPoint, it takes like 1 hour to make this beautifully. When you make it, save it. Want to use that? Use this one. It takes a lot of time because this particular shape you don't have inbuilt. So make this and then put the arrow over there. That's bunching. And this is over here, let's say. So either you do an oval shape like that, or this is much better actually. I use this one. So if you want to bunch, it's this one. It's just like you are using a rope and tying it. So it's like that. That's bunching. Or you can just use like this. Figures must be very beautiful. Figures and caption, the first thing you do. So when we do the project, the first thing I will ask you is to make your figures and write the captions. Then we will start writing experimental result, because once the figure is done, you know, figure 1, 2, 3, 4, then half of the work is done. I start result, figure 1 shows this, figure 2 shows that, 3, 4, like that. First thing is the figure. So you need to make the figure first. So from 9th week, we are making our figures, composing the figures, writing the caption. This must be done by 9th and 10th week. Then we keep writing. Anybody know how to do literature search? When you write the reference, how to select references? You have a particular topic, right? You give a search in Google, and you get 5,000 papers. Now you check them. Out of those 5,000, even 100 will be usable, but you don't have space. You don't, on a particular topic, you may only use 2 or 3 references. So how do you check? The first thing is you need to know those papers and at least read the abstracts, then you know what is going on. The important thing is references, okay? How you choose them, how to choose references, which ones to use. Because in Google or Scopus or Web of Science, you will be getting hundreds of papers which are very similar to the topic you want your support. That paper says the reason for this kind of data is this, and you want some support. You will get 5. You cannot put 5, you can put 2. How to choose? Which ones? So point 1, seminal ones. Seminal ones means the papers that will be the first in that group, the most famous on that topic. So if you are talking of, let's say, STED, if you are talking of stimulated emission, okay, STED, then go for that state, the first paper, that donut-shaped light ring. You need to cite that normally. So the seminal ones, the most famous ones. 2, contemporary. What is the meaning of contemporary? Means now. You can tell me what is now. It's not defined. Last 5 years. That's a rough definition of contemporary. So choose papers that you need support and you want to cite in your work, which are within the last 5 years. This is very important. Let's say you have a list and all your references, or 70% of your references are like 1960, 1940. The trouble is, the editor who will take this paper, this manuscript for you, they say, okay, your work has no current relevance. All the references are like 50 years back. That means nobody is working on this topic. To solve that, we normally put contemporary references, which are within last 5 years, to prove that many people are working on this topic right now. So seminal ones, contemporary ones. The third, the high impact journal ones. So if you have 2 or 3 similar papers and you already have given the seminal one and the contemporary one, and you still have 2 or 3 papers, from them they have the same result, the same discussion probably. Choose the one that which the journal has higher impact or something. So these are the 3 key factors: seminal ones, contemporary ones, high impact ones. That means the very famous ones, the first paper on that topic or something like this. So whenever anybody is asking about graphene, they always put Novoselov's paper. Yeah?
The seminal one, the paper.
It's very old.
Yeah.
Yeah, no problem. Seminal is normally old. We know that. So that's okay. If this one is 1960, no problem. So that's why we try to balance that one with these ones. That although it is old, but still people are working on it. That means there is scope of research on this topic. Wayne?
So this is the order of the reference chosen?
Or, no, that's not the order. Whatever topic, let's say you got a very funny result, right? And then you cannot explain it. With your more experiments, you cannot explain. So you have to choose reference, right? So you say the band gap of this is this much, and you don't have absorption data. Then you need to say that, okay, you look at that paper 70 years back, they said the band gap of this material is this. It is not necessary we do each experiment, right? Sometimes it's common knowledge. I mean, for example, silicon band gap is 1.1. Everybody knows. I don't have to do the experiment to show silicon band gap is 1.1. Right, so then I just give those references. Yes?
Do we have to put all these 3 items in order or?
No order. The main question is that you normally get on a particular topic thousands of papers. So out of those 1,000, because my reference number is limited, if you have a latest kind of journal, a latest kind of a paper, that means 3-page, your number of references, 19. You have to be very selective. You cannot take all those hundreds of references. So which one will you take? These are the guidelines. If you are writing a review is like you can have 200 references, but normally a paper will have around 30 references. 30 is a magic number. So even in 30, which ones shall we put? So this is a guideline. This is how we choose. So that is reference. And of course, you have different database, Scopus, Web of Science, even Google Scholar. So these you can search for papers and include them. Follow this rule, follow this principle. How to choose the title of your work is just like when somebody gave you a name. So the parents have a lot of responsibility that this name should have some meaning, something, something. So your paper, the title is very important. How to do that? I know it is important. You all know it is important, but you don't know how to write a title. A title that will be very catchy, that everybody can understand, and not too long, and should reflect my work. So lot of condition. You know, when you put a lot of condition, your pen or your fingers on the keyboard just stops. Because there's so many conditions. You want to type this, oh no, I am breaking that rule. You want to type that, oh, I am breaking that rule. So how to do it? Start. Write anything that comes to your mind. Title 1, Title 2, Title 3. 3 different titles you write. Study of zebrafish by light sheet microscopy to see blah, blah, blah. Then move the words up and down. Move the words here and there and make it another one. Light sheet microscopy for studying the expression of something in zebrafish. Zebrafish as a model of studying 3 different kind of. I don't think anything. Whatever I think is my paper is about, I write down 1, 2, 3. I write down. First step is this. Next week, Sagar will send you some document. You will see that it has a place where you need to write prospective title of your work. Prospective means what you think your paper is about, and it is not only 1, it is 3. Write 3 titles. Then you sit and look at it and think which one is better. In your head, you keep changing the words, try to make it beautiful. So now you will run out of ideas. All of your idea you have written down. Then the rules come in. Then I tell you the rules. Rules. Rule 1, less than 20 words. The paper title has to be less than 20 words. And let me define word. When you write a, for, in, of, to, they are words. So don't stretch it. Don't take it to 19. If you can finish it 15, 16, better. So less than 20 words. Second point. Your paper, when published, must be among the top in a Google search. But you are not writing a program to make your company appear on the number 1 position. You have to think about keywords. So on this topic, if the readers want to search, what they will search. So use the broad keywords inside the title. So you have to think whether nanomaterial is broad or nanoparticle is broad or nanorod is broad. Think about that. And then put the keywords. Those keywords that are broad and will appear in a Google search. So my point is, I have to write the title of the paper in a way that there is a high possibility anybody in the world giving a search on that topic, my paper would come. So think of 3 to 5 keywords. 3 to 5 keywords that describe your work and put them in the title. So now you see, instead of microscopy, if I replace that with some other word from here, will it enhance? Then put in these words and then keep playing with the words in these 3 titles. Make them better and better. This might take 1 day just to write the title. It might take a day. And then when you give it to your professor, he will also try to give some input, change it, then you come up with a very crisp, we say crisp title. Crisp. Crisp as in crispy. When you eat those chicken legs, okay, so it should be crispy. So that's crisp title. You need a crisp title that's very attractive to read. If you read a title which is like 3 lines long and full of very difficult English words, oh, come on. The title I cannot understand, inside I will also not understand. Very clear, less than 20 words, and must contain 3 to 5 keywords. Then you choose, but first you need to do that hard work. That's hard work. So write something, don't think. Then use these restrictions and see how it looks. Only the title will take you nearly 1 day if you do like this. Make sure it's a popular keyword. So think of a keyword which is broad, not very narrow. So in your case, OCT is a popular keyword. try to use it because OCT is now common knowledge. So you don't have to write optical coherence tomography. Don't have to write. Then it becomes 3 words. Now OCT is 1 word, just OCT. So you are saving 2 words. If you use OCT in your title, there is high chance it will appear in the searches. But everybody knows this technique. So everybody is using OCT in their title. So they will also come. Now you have to think of what is the second popular most in OCT. Then you have to put those and then find out what is the best title possible. Similar for the others.
So
Yes.
how about subtitle? Subtitle, like the major title, column?
Subtitles normally we don't use for most of the cases. But in case you need a subtitle, in some medical journals you still need, that you can do any of your choice. Only important thing is that main title. The subtitles you can have, for example, in medical journals. In some medical journals they use subtitles which are not so hard and fast. Hard and fast means not so limited. You can use any words. For example, some keywords, arrange them, that's fine. But normally, most of the journals will not use any subtitles. So they only use title. I go through and quickly and see if I missed something. Actually, I had this. So for references, list of the work that you cite in order. Formatting style is important. Seminal one, contemporary, and high impact. These are the 3 rules for referencing. And you need to check the formatting style. By formatting style, of course, most of you know, and now you are using EndNote. At least 60% will be correct, but it's not enough. Use EndNote, you will see most of that is wrong. EndNote is more helpful in maintaining the order, maintaining the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the text. That's very good. But look at the formatting style, it's not foolproof. Many errors you will find. When you look at the formatting style, it's very difficult to write, extremely difficult if you want to type. Because here is a comma, here is a matter, it means materials, dot. This one is bold. You need the starting number, ending number. This is the year and then a dot. Everything needs to be written down. So if you think I will decrease my work by choosing EndNote, yes, you choose EndNote. The result, something you will see, all the names are in capital. Then you have to do it manually. And this will happen out of a list of 10, this will happen 4 times, normally. Or sometimes you will see, this is the title of the journal, abbreviated title. So this is Materials Science and Engineering A. In EndNote, this will be written fully. In some cases, it will be like this. In some cases, it will be Materials Science and Engineering A. Then you need to bring it back. So to EndNote, no problem, but check if your formatting is okay. So EndNote is not foolproof. There will be many mistakes. And formatting is a big issue actually. I had some slides. So for example, if you look at the way they write their title, and so only this is the capital. The other ones is like, we say sentence case. In other papers, this is also the first is capital and sentence case, but in some it will not be. This is sentence case also. Okay.
So in this one, there are
Yeah, there are many. You will see they may not be sentence case. There may be a colon over there. So there are different, different types, and you have to do this. So do you understand the difference between these two? Can you tell the difference between this and this? Of course, this is bold, the font is different. But this is left aligned. Can you see it is left aligned? And this is centered. Everything you have to do. So this is centered, this is left aligned. So some of the journals are like this, some of the journals are like that. So this is how you understand the formatting style of a journal. And each time you get a rejection, you need to do that again. So that's why publishing a paper is not easy. It's very, very tough. Less than 20 words and keywords. And oh, I forgot this one. In the title or in the abstract, you cannot use first, new, novel, you cannot use. So novel, first, best, fastest, quickest, cannot use. Superlatives you cannot use. The best, resolution, highest, or lowest, or something, cannot use. Remember this. Catchy means very interesting. So when you read a title of something, you immediately want to read it. That's catchy. Catchy title. Okay, I think that's enough for today. You have any questions, you ask me. Yes, Ken. Yeah.
You said the reference is around 30.
Around 30, yes.
But for the thesis.
For thesis? Yeah. Najim came to me with his PhD thesis, right? This paper has 20 references. It's a 3-page document. Your document, your thesis will be 100-page. So in my lab, a master's thesis is 100 pages, okay? Out of which 40-page is introduction, 60-page is your work. So from experimental to the reference is 60-page. So it's 40 plus 60. So this 40-page is somebody else's work, introduction, those kind of stuff. From experimental to reference is 60-page. In that case, normally in my lab, we will keep 3 to 4 A4 pages for references. So I would say in a thesis, the normal number of references should be between that number. In each page, you are probably typing 20 references in each page typed. So 3 to 4 pages of references. So for a thesis of 100-page length, the normal average amount of references will be between 60 and 75. If you are a PhD student, so that 100 will go up to at least 150. That number goes up to 150. For a paper, for example, we don't take thesis because thesis is very lab dependent. In my lab, I do it like this. In their lab, they will do it in some way. In their lab, in some way. But for a paper is general. So papers are different kinds. This is a letter. There is article. That's the one most common we write. This article means about 8-page having 6 figures, this article. That's what normally we do. And the number of references we have is between 30 and 50. If it's a letter means 3-page. The number of references 20, 22, like that. Article, like 6 to 7 pages with 6 figures, we have 30 to 50 references. But recently, Digvijay gave me one paper which had like 71 references. Yours also, probably, right? Yeah. So, but roughly, average, 70 is too much actually. So, roughly this. So, when you do the project here, I am looking for 30 references, 30. Roughly 30 references, out of which I will tell you later. I am also telling you now. In the introduction part, normally we will have around 20 references. And in the discussion part, because references can only be here, in the introduction and in the discussion. In the discussion part, we will have additional 10 to 15. Some of the references in the discussion may come from these 20. Additionally, 10 to 15. So, approximately 30, 35 references. In the intro, approximate 20. In the discussion, approximately 10. Some of them might come from here also. So that's a rough number. Don't have to worry about too much. I mean, if this 30 becomes 27, it's fine, no problem. But 30 is a target. Whenever I say that long, I define it, how long. So thesis is a different thing. We are mostly in this mode, article. So if you can do this, you should be able to do that. If you can do this in 30 page, our document will be 20 page, 30 references, right? The project that we'll be doing. This is 100 page. This is easy, not a big deal. Okay, questions? Yes, Sapram.
Sir, when we put the references, is the references formatting style always with respect to how the journal asks?
Always.
Is there any popular style that?
Nothing. It depends on where you want to send it first. If your first target journal is ACS, American Chemical Society, the formatting style of reference is not journal dependent, it is publisher dependent. So that means if you have, like, for example, OSA, Optical Society of America, they have one style. If you have, this Optica is from OSA, I guess. Yeah, this one. They have one style. ACS, like all the ACS journals, ACS Nano, ACS Energy, they have the same style.
No, even they also have different.
No, referencing will be the same, I guess.
No, means like some formatting. For example, name will be little different in some other journals.
Mostly it goes by publisher. There can be few cases. So if you go to Wiley, like for example, Advanced Materials, Advanced Functional Materials, they have same. So basically publisher wise it changes. But whatever be the case, the first journal you want to send your paper to must be formatted like that. And just in case to save time, what we do is, I don't know your aim is writing a thesis or writing a paper, but if it is writing a paper, when we send the paper out, okay, for the first journal, and then we are waiting for the review, in that time, we will reformat our paper, assuming it will be rejected. And we think if it fails, I am sending it here. Do the formatting right now. And keep a line of 4 or 5 journals. If it comes back, we send this one out. It saves time. First we send one, right? And God forbid it gets accepted, okay. It is not rejected. If it gets rejected, then we will keep 3 or 4 more formats for different publishers ready. So if it comes back, we send this one out immediately. That's how we
So
set
in
that.
the project here, we keep some publisher in mind and do the references.
Yes, of course. You know what kind of work you are doing, and you know your journal. So you think that I am sending the Journal of Biomedical Optics. If you target that, then you do it like this. For example, you might think that how much work is required to change it. So you think, I will send it to Journal of Biomedical Optics. Then you go to Professor Kuo. Professor Kuo, no, this work is much better. Let us send it to some other one. Go to EndNote and change that. After you change that, you will see a lot of mistakes. You have to fix it manually. Get the document done, go again. Other questions? No? Okay, let's call it a day.